All right, hopefully we're back. Hopefully everything is going a little more smoothly. We'll give it a couple seconds here. Actually, let's just look at that sexy intro one more time. All right, hopefully hopefully it's working a little bit better. What's up, everybody? I'm Squall Charleston. I'm your host as always, and this week I'm joined by Milena and George. How's it going, guys?
Hey man, what's up?
Sorry about
Pretty
the technical difficulties. It just needed a quick restart. I had everything set up this morning. I was like working at like 8 a.m. trying to get everything ready, and I haven't restarted, which is what I usually do. What's up, Karn? All right, let's jump into it. The first, biggest, and best news story this week is, hey man, thank you so much. My account was hacked. I go by TL Lucario. I think I remember you. You pop up every now and then, but hey, thank you so much for the super chat. All right, we're looking at Toei announces Hero Mama League. Oh yeah. The special titled Hero Mama League will star 3 previous Sentai actresses, Hurricaners Nao Nagasawa, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Deca Rangers Ayumi Kinoshita and Maji Rangers Ayumi Beppu. Did I say that one right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I'm proving my title wrong a little bit, just a little bit. Returning to their original roles, the characters of Nanami, Jasmine, and Hoka are new mothers and must balance the struggle of being mothers and protecting the world. That sounds pretty cool. Like, I love that their kids are all around the same age, that hopefully they have another spin-off series in like 12 years where they're all on a team.
That would be awesome.
The 3 who once fought to protect the world are now married and mothers. However, the evil that endangers humanity is immortal. The 3 work to balance their roles as glittering mamas. That's not me. That's actually it's quoted. While being heroes when the mysterious space shinobi Demost appears. The special will be released via the Toei Tokusatsu fan club, and although it is their 3rd drama production, they claim it is not a spin-off. So, Jasmine, Ayumi Kinoshita, proposed the original idea to the Toei Tokusatsu fan club as a means of showcasing different aspects of a hero's life. Let's see, Hideo Tawada, who played Kinji, star Ninja in Ninja, will also appear, and Yasuhiro Takaro will act as the narrator. And this will be released on May 13th, Mother's Day, in Japan. So what do you guys think of this?
That is a wonderful title.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
HML.
It took me a while to realize they're probably just like going off Justice League here.
A little bit, yeah. I don't know. I'm super excited. It's always fun to see like different ideas, and I kind of stress that Sentai always is pumping out like new and interesting takes on things. So
I think like this is still for something that does that as regularly as Sentai does. This is really pushing new territory, and that's super cool.
I'm excited for what they have in plan with it. I don't know. Is it just gonna be the one episode, or is it just gonna be like the one special?
Yeah, right now it's just the one special. There might be more if it's really popular. That would be cool.
One thing that I was curious about, it says this is like the 3rd production of their fan club.
So
they previous other like little one-off showcases.
Yeah.
One of them is the Brave spinoff in X-Aid. I don't know what the other one is.
I'm not entirely sure.
If anybody in comments knows, let me know. Let us know. I have one question here. I'm going to do a question early just because it's pretty on the nose for this. But Alan asks, with the Hero Mama trio gaining new popularity and fame, how annoyed would Abare Red be right now? It's for Mother's Day, of course, but the guy who was a parent during his respective Sentai, that's got to sting a little bit.
I mean, the guy had an entire series. I think he's good.
That's true.
Also, he's not a mother.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, speaking of like Aba Ranger and even Kyoryuger, they had 2 people that played like parent roles I'm thinking
Technically, you also had Ninja, although it wasn't one of the main people.
I guess, yeah, with Grandpa and Dad, Nin, Nin Dad. It's like sounds like an Xbox gamer tag or something. Nin Dad 69. Do you guys have anything else you want to say on this?
Yeah, that's cool.
So, oh well, people were asking if like they're actually mothers in real life, and I know now Nagasawa and Ayumi Kinoshita are. I would imagine Ayumi Beppu is as well. I don't know if those are their real kids, but they match up with the gender, so I'm saying maybe.
Oh, I guess it could be the real kids. I actually just realized that one of our later news pieces I should have moved up to right after this one because I wasn't thinking clearly, obviously. But we'll put a mental note in that, just a little pin, and we'll get back to this. All right, moving on. Redman Volume 1 release date was announced. So, announced late 2017, the first volume of the new comic book series Redman, titled Redman Volume 1, Kaiju Hunter, will be released worldwide on May 30th through Amazon Japan. The book has 120 pages that cover episodes, chapters 1 through 5, plus exclusive making of material. Let's see. A U.S. release date has yet to be announced. Story and art will be done by Matt Frank, with colors by Goncalo Lopez. Redman will be released by Phase 6 and distributed by Night Shining Incorporated. So if you guys aren't familiar, this is a little synopsis, a little blurb from the press release. He is Redman, the kaiju hunter, trapped in a desolate and yet somehow familiar world populated with a vast array of the ferocious beasts known as kaiju. Redman continues his endless red fight, battling tirelessly to cull the monsters. With each fierce battle, the blood-spattered hero sinks closer to his prey, and the sinister form watches and records his every move. Yeah. So this new book collects chapters 1 to 5 in a brand new comic series based closely on Subaraya Productions' 1972 cult classic, King of Kaiju. Matt Frank, recognized worldwide for his work as a main artist of Godzilla, Rulers of Earth, makes his debut showrunner and is joined by his frequent collaborator and Godzilla colorist Goncalo Lopez for the colors. So, yeah, if you guys don't know, Matt Frank also did the really kick-ass Japan World Hero art designs, like for all the posters and whatnot. And yeah, George, you were kind of excited to talk about this one. Do you have anything fun to add?
I'm super excited about this. This is one of those shows Subaraya made when they didn't have a whole bunch of money, so they pretty much designed a hero costume and filmed like 100 and something 2-minute mini episodes that were pretty much an excuse to have a hero fight a monster. But because there's literally because there's literally no story, it often looks like the hero is just like attacking these innocent monsters. So a few years ago, Subaraya was uploading the episodes daily to their YouTube channel, and it created like a mountain of fan art about this devious and like murderous Redman, and I think that's the angle they're going for.
He's just
I'm
kind of
so
a dick.
happy about that. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it, like look at his smug smile, like he knows what he's doing.
Oh, totally.
And like, now that you say that, that actually does sound really cool. Ooh. Milena, do you have anything that you want to talk about with this? Did you see those episodes on YouTube? I
did not, but I am just constantly learning about the weird stuff that this production puts out.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like all the things I'm learning about Ultraman.
What sort of things are you learning?
Just tidbits from people like George.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you learned about Ultra Q recently.
Teach us something about Ultra Q. Let's jump into it.
So, Ultraman was actually the second series in the Ultra series. The first series was Ultra Q and had no Ultraman in it. It was about the monsters.
Huh. How did that work? Is it like kind of like Godzilla-esque then?
It was like Twilight Zone-esque. You had these it played up bizarre sci-fi, and it had people investigating monster incidents. So that's why the Ultra series is actually really, really, really popular for its monsters as well as its heroes.
Well, that's kind of cool. Wow. Anyway, I hope that this gets a statewide release, because I feel like it would do really popular, especially like with like Pacific Rim and all that kind of stuff, bringing these sort of themes to the forefront of like the main media instead of just like all 30 of us hanging out. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good weekend, a good Saturday today. If you're in the Midwest, it's probably snowing right now, and I'm sorry. It's nice and beautiful and sunny here in good old California. But,
you know, that classic April snow.
Yeah.
Classic, yeah.
Patio weather, you know. If you guys notice at the top of the screen, there is a link. If you go to that link, you can add a question that we may answer in just a little bit. It can range anything from stuff you want to know from us, stuff you want to know about Tokusatsu, stuff we're talking about in these news pieces, or just some random shit if you just want to throw something out. Go for it. Have fun. And you can upvote and downvote other people. So if someone has a good question, don't let it get buried. All right, moving on. Speaking of Ultraman, Shout Factory TV to host Ultraman Leo. Leo or Leo?
Leo. Either or.
Okay, cool. The complete series marathon on Twitch. So they announced that they would be collaborating with the popular streaming and social video platform Twitch to host a marathon for the Ultraman Leo series, the 7th entry in the Ultra franchise. This event will be known as the Ultraman Leo, the complete series marathon. It'll start at 3 p.m. on April 18th through the 21st. So previously on March 16th, Shout Factory TV acquired Ultraman Leo for their streaming collection. And Ultraman Leo originally aired on Tokyo Broadcasting System April 12th, 1974 to March 28th, 1975 for a total of 51 episodes. So if you guys aren't familiar, Shout Factory has some of the coolest live streams where like thousands of people come together. I think the biggest one they ever had was Power Rangers. They did an entire series up to RPM. I think they even maybe did some Samurai too. But I would tune into that one at any given time, and there was like easily like 10,000 people in there just like spamming Tommy emojis. it was crazy. It's a time to be alive. But yeah, I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen a lot of Ultraman series. Have you?
This one's pretty different from most Ultraman series. It's especially for its time, it was a little darker, and it relied a lot more on like straight up martial arts action.
So how would this one rank against the other ones?
I really liked it. It's one of the few shows from that era that has like somewhat of an actual continuing storyline. So it's the first Ultraman series to have more than one Ultraman, and actually the Ultra 7, he's like this guy's mentor, so it's cool to have like the actual actor there.
Oh, that's cool. I know Malinus and I haven't seen a lot of Ultraman, so it's good to have you here, George.
Yeah, once I finished Q Ranger, I've got a Crunchyroll account right now with Ultraman X waiting to be watched.
Yeah, that's always a good time. All right, let's move on to everybody's absolute favorite moment on the show. It's Who's That Tokuman? Now this one, as you guys may know at home, I always give you a little bit of an easier one, and then I'm going to give you a hard one. So if you're having difficulty with this one, I don't think anybody's going to get the last one, to be honest.
It's Ben 10.
It's not as bullshit as I had last week, where I had Aka Rangers outlined, but then I had, what was it, Gosei Red behind him, Alata? that was just rude. I want to apologize for that. I'm sorry. Let's answer a couple questions. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any thoughts on Tokume Sentai Go Busters? Just finished watching it. This is from Anonymous.
You know, I always like the look of it, but I only watched like a handful of episodes, and because a friend was watching it, he wanted to watch the finale with me, and I don't really have much attachment to it, but I'm interested to see what Saban does with it.
Yeah, I only saw about half of the series. I'm one of those guys who didn't really like it after the whole staff interference and how it just changed from what it initially was. So
yeah.
I'm really, yeah.
No, sorry, keep going.
I'm really eager to see what they'll do for Beast Morphers, given that they probably won't have that level of interference going on.
I mean, hopefully. I've been focusing a lot on this series again. Actually got tipped off by somebody, one of our friends at TokuNet, that this may be the one that they were going to adapt. So I actually started rewatching it back in November and December. it's like been on my mind for a really long time, and I've like been trying to do some videos and like figure some stuff out for it. But it's a solid series. Like if you can just like ignore the middle like valley in the middle of the show where it just totally dips in quality and it tries to do something new and different every week, and then it eventually comes back to what it was. It's a pretty solid show. It's got really good costumes, really good villains, just really good character development too. Which, what came after that? Was that Kyoryuger?
Kyoryuger, yeah.
Am I saying that wrong? Everybody always yells at me for saying Kyoryuger.
Kyoryu.
It's a tongue twister.
There you go.
Like that one had like the least amount of character development, unless if it was King. So, I'm just gonna hold my tongue on that.
So, someone's asking in the chat what happened with staff interference. Can I talk about that?
Of course.
So, Toei has never outright said anything, but it's one of the producers on the show was fired pretty early on, or left the show rather, and a lot of the fundamental workings of the show changed. So, you know, the main reason for them fighting kind of changed. Something you think was going to be a season-long plot ended up ending like at episode 30 or something.
Yeah, and then they come back to it at the end of the show again. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's...
Oh, okay.
And then later on, during the actual like retailer conference where they reveal the catalog for Kyoryuger, Bandai just straight up said, yeah, the show failed because the toy line failed because the show sucked.
I applaud it because you look at Gokaiger, which came before it, and Gokaiger I feel like really tapped the funds as well. You can always tell with some of the shows that they save up a bunch of money to make the first couple episodes really cool, and then like you can tell that they immediately go back to like a ramen and rice diet. Kamen Rider is the worst with it. Like Kamen Rider, like if you look at Double, has some of like the jankiest looking monsters, like CGI monsters and stuff in like the first few episodes, because they're cutting it real close. But yeah, Go Buster I think also had that like almost nothing budget too, that kind of makes it a lot difficult.
I really do. I don't know if this was a budget change or maybe just like time constraints, but I hate that they toned down the level of quality in the mecha fights, because Sentai had never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, like, and like you look at what Go Bust did, like with like the CB01, the cheetah, you know, running through a city, and it looked really weird. It looked awkward, and you're like, what is going on? What is this? But you look at like where Sentai is now with Lupin and Pato Ranger, and that's like, if that wouldn't have been made then, we wouldn't see that stuff as good as we see it now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
and I still think for its time it was good. Just like going beyond CG, they did something Ultraman does, and that's like when you have miniature cities, they aligned the buildings in a way that's kind of realistic. They film at different camera angles to give you a better impression of like a giant scale. And normally with Sentai, you kind of see the mechas from like a fighting game position.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else you want to say about Go Buster? Other than if you haven't seen it, watch it.
The leather was cool, and we need more suits made of that material.
Yeah. I can imagine that would get really hot to fight in, though.
Oh, dude, yeah.
All right, here's another good one. Who would win in a fight, I'm presuming? Garo, Season 1, or Kamen Rider Ichigo?
Well, one of them has been fighting for more years, I'm assuming.
So that means they're older and they're easier to beat. They're more decrepit,
but
right?
he's also a cyborg.
Oh, that's true.
He is an immortal
He's a
cyborg.
karate bugman. I forget.
Bugman. Ichigo Bugman.
I'm putting my money on Kamen Rider just because, like, he's always coming back. He's always just hanging around.
I mean, dude survived a nuclear bomb, so...
That is true.
I was going to say, based on the one clip I've seen from Garo, apparently they fight pretty hard. Like, what was that? That one scene where they're running down a building while fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Does Garo have a bike?
He has a horse.
Well, I mean...
So it's a little bit cool.
Yeah. Well, the new anime Garo has a bike, which is also a horse, I think. I don't know. It's a weird show.
To be fair, I haven't. I've only watched like the first couple episodes of Garo. I was gonna do an honest Toku trailer on it with a friend, and I was just watching it to like collect jokes and to like pick it apart, and I hated watching it for that reason, so I stopped.
I'm not a huge fan of Garo.
Why? Why not?
I
thinking
feel
about getting
like
back into it.
I like the aesthetics, and I actually do like the third season a lot. But I feel like it's one of those shows that wants to be dark for the sake of being dark, and it doesn't really have anything to say as far as like being aimed at an older audience allows.
I guess. All right. Well, let's move on. We've spent enough time here. So I've seen a couple people in chat did get this right. It is, what is it, 1978's Toei Japanese Spider-Man.
From the planet Spider.
Yeah. Not Peter Parker. Just get that right. Anyway, so good job for all you guys. This is the one that I wanted everybody to put a pin in to remember. Go-Go Sentai Bokenger's Chise Nakamura announces her first pregnancy. Future, what was it? Super Mama Squad? What is it called? I've already forgotten.
Hero Mama League.
Hero Mama what?
League.
Gotcha. Yeah, HML. That's right. That's how I remember it.
HML.
On April 8th, actress Chise Nakamura announced her first pregnancy. She's best known for her portrayal of Liliana. Wait, did I write this wrong? Milena Natsuki Miriyama Boken Yellow from Go-Go Sentai Bokenger. I'm totally butchering this, everybody. I'm so glad that 35 of you guys are just hanging out. Thank you. Thank you for dealing with me.
She has like 3 names. What?
That's where I was like reading it and getting confused.
So yeah, in Bokenger, she starts out as this person who lost her memories, and she's actually from like an ancient civilization or something. So Liliana is like her real name. Natsuki is like the name that was given to her.
That's right.
Okay.
Bokenger's a wild ride. I don't know how to put my finger on it. Some episodes I love it, some episodes I hate it, some episodes I slept through it. But her baby is due at the end of August. She has stated that her baby is healthy and she's excited to be a mother.
Oh, congratulations.
Mostly because she can then be on that. She can be the 4th one in there. 2 yellows. 2 yellows. All right. Kamen Rider Ryusuke's Ryuki's. Why am I? I've had no sleep, you guys, so I hope this is at least enjoyable. Kamen Rider Ryuki's Ryohei Odai announces marriage. So voice actor, musician, tokusatsu actor Ryohei Odai, who portrayed Kamen Rider Zolda and Kamen Rider Ryuki, will be marrying Swedish TBS commenter Liliko, which was revealed during April 2nd on the program Non-Stop. I don't know why I did the quotes there. But yeah, if you guys have seen Ryuki, he's one of the main characters. Really, really fun character, I think.
Yeah, it was real fun to see him back in the X-Aid crossover movie.
That's right. Yeah. So cool. I put those and the pregnancy together because I'm like, it's smaller news, but like those go well together. And then I realized I should have put Bokangers at the end of the Hero Mama Squad. I'll keep on calling it Squad League, Hero Mama
League.
Well, that's
like the Justice League.
Yeah. Let's move on to Toho's 30 centimeter Type 3 Kiryu revealed. So this depicts Godzilla. It's the 2002 version as seen in Godzilla Height Mechagodzilla. The figurine stands 30 cm tall, roughly about 11.8 inches, and is given a color scheme to match the way it would look in dark lighting. It features glowing eyes powered by AA batteries, sold separately, including with its power supply unit and the pilot figure. It'll be available for pre-order May 1st for about 24,840 Japanese yen and is expected to ship in June 2018. Perfect timing for them to release this with Ready Player One hit in theaters. Yeah.
Oh, is that in Ready Player One?
Oops, sorry, spoilers. Yes.
Well, that explains why this is coming out then.
Yeah. I mean, it was in the book, and the first, like, okay, so someone sent me a spec script of Ready Player One, and they totally took out Mechagodzilla, which I was like, what? Why? Like, Warner Brothers has the rights to Godzilla, don't they? Like, can't they just use that? And they changed it for like this thing that was like a mix of like Voldemort and Sauron, and it was really dumb. It made no sense. And then I saw the movie, and they had changed a bunch of stuff, including that, and he was back, and I was happy, even though he looked like garbage in the movie. I was happy.
That's
Ruined.
cool.
It's not ruined. It's, if you read the book, it's in the book. It happens. Get over it. All right, final one. Who's that Tokuman? Now this one's a little bit hard. I will give anybody $100 in the chat if you can figure out who this is.
It's the command center.
I was thinking that.
Speaking of Ready Player One, what were each of yours favorite parts of Ready Player One? Have you guys seen it?
I've read the book. I like the book a lot.
What if I told you the movie's better?
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
So when the internet had like a raging hate on for the movie, I was one of the, it seemed like very few people that actually liked the book and would defend it.
Yeah, same here.
And my favorite part was one of the more human moments at the end when it's been so many years I don't remember their names, but when the main character discovers what his love interest.
Wade Watts.
Yes, when he discovers what his love interest actually looks like, and I thought that was a really cool message about accepting yourself for who you are.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest one that they lost in the movie, but they couldn't do it because the movie condenses everything into like 2 weeks worth of time versus like the 10 months.
Weird.
It works much better that way because it makes everything a lot more like this happens, then this happens, then he's on the run, and then this happens, and it just makes everything a lot more frantic because they're getting closer to the end. Because in the book, it's like he unlocked the first key and then everything slowly kind of keeps happening. But I feel like, especially when I read it, that if he would have unlocked the first key and like everybody would have been keen to it, the other ones would have been just knocked out really easily because people weren't thinking about those issues. They weren't thinking about those challenges prominently. And so when they see them, especially the grunters who have like dedicated their lives to studying Holiday and his Easter eggs, would have been like, oh, it's this. And they would have, it would have been like one after another. And that's kind of how the movie works, which I like that a lot more. But Malinus, have you seen the movie or read the book?
I was at least aware of the book back when it came out, and my understanding was that it was a fairly misguided but still pretty interesting book.
Mm-hmm. Like for the book, I think Ernie Klein, the author, his follow-up book, which is called Armada.
Oh, the Mega Ranger thing.
Yeah. Well, it's basically like The Last Starfighter. I think that's a much better book because Ready Player One has the problem of like every conversation in the book doesn't sound real. It just sounds like somebody like imagined this is how people talk. But Armada actually has some very good back and forth, which I was like, okay, now I feel like people are actually real and talking. Whereas Ready Player One, it kind of seemed all like a lucid dream.
Okay, so he like improved.
Yes, and there's still a bunch of like everybody hates on Ready Player One because it's just like literally every page has something that's a reference to Tokusatsu or like
that's what I heard.
Superheroes or whatever, and everybody's like, that sucks. But Armada does the same thing, but much more subtly. Armada is kind of super boring. No, it's not, Shame. It's so good at the end. Oh man, it's basically about this kid that's really good at this like online video game, and he's in like the top 10 of the players, and he gets drafted by the government because it's like a training program to save the world. It's totally The Last Starfighter, but it's more fun.
I was about to say, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
That's also pretty much Mega Ranger.
Yeah, I guess. Here's another good question. Do you like Furbus? No. Do you guys know?
Do what now?
Do you like Furbus?
I don't know what that is.
From Saban's The Masked Rider, 1995? Or 4? Or 6? I don't know.
Oh, no, I do not like Furbus from Saban's The Masked Rider, 1995.
Wow,
no, I really don't actually.
Did you just look it up?
Yeah, that's ugly.
Someone knows what a Furby is.
Yeah. No, that was very popular. The best thing about Furbus is that it had the correlation to Furby, and I remember everybody in my school hating Furby because they thought it was demonic. And they're just like, isn't it weird that it's always awake at night when you're sleeping? And I was the one kid in class that was like, no, because they're made in China, where it is currently morning while you're sleeping. Like, it's Chinese set to the clocks. At least the first couple batches were. That's why it wakes up in the middle of the night and it goes, da yeah.
I never had one. I was one of those kids that could never find one.
Really? Oh man.
Yeah, those things like sold out like crazy when they were new.
That's true.
I remember wanting one at the time, and then when I played with a cousin's one afterwards, I was just like, yeah, I'm glad I never got one of these.
Smosh.
It's like, wow, that was actually saving. Well, I didn't think that at the time. As an adult, I realized, yeah, that would have been a waste of money.
Did you guys hear any of that?
No?
No.
If you guys have the stream pulled up, I just played a video of a Furby in a microwave. Anyway.
Oh dear.
Solid choice.
Here's another question. Who was the worst Sixth Ranger in your opinion? Now this can be Sentai, this can be Power Rangers, it can be Kamen Rider.
Wait, what?
No, who do you think is like the worst add-on hero that's happened in a series?
That's a good question.
I might like off the top of my head, I think Kinji from Ninja, just because he was added in way too early that I didn't care for his appearance, and his character was so flippy floppy that I was actually excited when he left, but then he immediately came back and I was disappointed.
I was a little disappointed he came back immediately, but
yeah,
I
like the
think,
next episode.
To be honest, I like him more for his actor and his performance rather than the character itself.
Yes,
same,
definitely.
Just see how much energy he puts into dancing.
No, speaking of like energy and dancing, who was in Go Buster? The Beetle Stag.
Hiroya, whatever his name is.
Yeah, from Maji Ranger. If you watch those dances, like it's literally like life or death, I think, to him. Like he's like, oh my god, like showing everybody up. But yeah,
oh, man.
Least favorite Sixth Ranger?
I would have to say Ko from Thigh Ranger.
No, Ko is. Oh.
Let me preface this. I like him.
Yeah.
When it's like the stories about like his mom and like the other Rangers being dicks to him.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really cool and emotional. But I also think the show went way too long without having him appear in episodes, and there were times when you would forget he was actually part of the show.
That is true. Yeah. I like his whole like backstory, like his origin to like becoming the Die Ranger's like add-on hero. I thought that was interesting. So
I think of the ones I can think of right now, I guess Zhu of the World.
Oh yeah.
Because like I love his introduction. Basically every major thing that they do with him is really good, but in between he's just kind of a one-trick pony.
Yeah, and he's constantly like crying and like depressed about nothing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, like, shut up.
There's a very good episode where they deal with that, and it seems like it's a good change of character, but then he goes back to the usual, which is very disappointing.
Yeah, I actually stopped watching Zyuohger a few episodes after he came in, and I liked
right after he got good.
Maybe like an episode or two after, actually.
Yeah,
I think that's literally where I left off when the show was going on, and as you know, within the last few months, I finally watched the rest.
Yeah, it's one of those shows that where like I would watch an episode and it'd be okay, but then I would have no drive to want to watch it anymore.
That happens.
But
okay.
Yeah, like he was much cooler when he was evil.
Do you guys, everybody at home, see my shirt? Let's turn this into who's your least favorite second rider?
Ooh. Kaisa from Fies.
Oh yeah,
Oh man,
that's a good
he's
one.
cool. I mean, he's cool to hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't deny that he's written to be hated.
I would maybe
I'd
say...
say
Oh, go ahead, George.
I'd say Ixa from Nago from Kiva.
Oh yeah, that might even be a better example.
You don't like exercise?
Nah, I can't say.
Exercise.
Can't say I'm the biggest fan, no.
I like the fact that like multiple people could be Ixa, so they could all be equally annoying. But I would maybe say Baron from Gaim. I hated him.
Yeah, I can see that.
I like absolutely everything he was doing was like, you have no, there's no reason for your like, and whoever the grape dude was, like everybody in that show, except for Gaim, I hated. I was just like, why?
I love so many characters there.
Well, like all the Rider characters.
I enjoyed a lot of the Rider characters. I think the only one I didn't enjoy at times was honestly Kota, because he was very, very hesitant to make like any final decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay,
yeah,
who's your favorite secondary hero? I would say Birth from O's, or my favorite Rider of all time is Zeronos from Den-O.
Yeah, I'd go with that one too.
Yeah.
Kaiser. He was fun to hate. That's why.
You know what? I agree. When I watched the Gaim crossover movie that brought him back, I was just like, you are really just written to be hated.
Like, I'm glad I can watch you die again.
Yeah. Baron is best villain. No. Okay. Let's see. I was kind of looking at chat. We'll give it a couple minutes here. But back to the Who's That Tokuman. Does anybody know? Again, there's $100 on the line if anybody can guess this one. I'm going through to see if there's any other questions before we end the show today. There wasn't very much for the for news this week. Just
it's the command center from the movie. Okay.
You mean the underground ship?
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh really? Oh dude, okay. Everybody who knows me knows I actually really enjoy that film, and I've made like 2 YouTube videos on it to like it's good. Like I made a whole video about how what do you know about the movie Malinus? Like do you know about the really obvious like brand deal they had?
I do not, but I do know that it looked a lot like a Marvel movie when I saw the trailer.
Yes. I don't know. It's good. People always complain about the movie being like, they only morphed and fought for like the last 20-30 minutes of the movie. And I'm like, okay, so it's like a normal episode of the TV show where they fight for the last 3 minutes. What else do you want?
I can understand wanting more action, but I don't think that like discounts all of the great character development that went on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's honestly my favorite movie.
Which one?
Since I've known you guys, I've heard more positive things than negative things, and that's kind of impressive to me.
Like it's got so much potential that if they made a second one, it would strengthen the first one, I think, more, because people would have the second one to immediately watch after, which I think it desperately needs. Like it's a great film on its own, but like especially if you wanted more out of it, I can understand why it might have been disappointing. But if they had that second one that gave you more action, that gave you more this, and this, because it's mostly character development in the first one, which I loved. Because going into the movie, I was like, man, why is it Mighty Morphin? Why can't it just be something different or original? It's always Mighty Morphin this, Mighty Morphin that. Everybody's wearing a stupid Red Ranger hat at the mall.
And then you read the comics.
Yeah, well, the comics are great. But no, what they did with it was wonderful, and the comics are wonderful. But
there is actually a follow-up comic to the movie. That's pretty decent.
Aftershock?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was okay. It was, I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with another movie, because now they've got Hasbro under them, and it's specifically Hasbro who has decided that the current state of Transformers isn't good enough.
Let's pair it with Power Rangers.
Yeah, I don't know if you followed that news, but basically they decided the next movie is going to have more involvement from Hasbro.
Yeah, it's a reboot.
Oh, good. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Like honest opinion time, I actually kind of like the first Transformers movie.
Yeah, the first one was fun.
And the second one just made me like hurt.
I mean, every subsequent movie has consistently been referred to as possibly the worst movie of the year.
Well, okay, number 3, I will give it a lot of merit because if you've ever been to Chicago, you know how busy that city is. And if you watch the movie with that in mind, that every day that they shot, because sometimes it takes like a day or two to do like one shot in the film. If you think about it like that they had to work around everybody in Chicago's schedules. I had a friend who lives and works in Chicago, and he said, we had a car on the roof of our building for 3 weeks. And I showed up to work one day, and they had us all standing, and we could watch it get blown off the roof. But I'm like, how the fuck do you plan that out? Like, holy crap! And that's the only merit I'm gonna give to number 3, because
the fourth
everything
one
else
has actual characterization with the robots, so that's an improvement.
I guess, yeah.
4 movies in.
Yeah.
Well, since I don't see anybody in the comments guessing this correctly, I was gonna be very surprised. Some people were saying the command center. Some people are saying Krispy Kreme. Unfortunately, it is the Anaheim Convention Center, where Power Morphicon 2018 will be held later this year. Get your tickets now; they're running out. That's a good one. And then our final story for the week, you monster. Toei releases the new trailer for Uchu Sentai Q Ranger versus Space Squad. And we're not going to show the trailer on the show. You're going to have to go to the tokusatsunetwork.com if you want to see it. That's TOKU SuNetwork.com.
That's not even a good fake spelling.
I know. I got halfway through it. I'm like, this isn't going to work.
Tokusatsu Network.
Tokusatsu Network. Yeah, tokusatsunetwork.com. Ruined. But yeah.
Someone says the tree threw them off.
Oh.
If it hadn't been for the tree, they would have guessed it.
You think so?
Sure.
I can kind of see where like I have the hard edge there. But I was really hoping that people were going to say command center. That's why I chose that exact photo, because it's so... Yeah. Do you guys have any last thoughts on the episode today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. It was fun being here.
It's fun having you guys. I'm excited for that Mama Squad, that Sentai Mama Squad. Oh, is it League?
That's as good as a title.
League.
Damn it. Oh man, I already know that if it's like gonna have a trailer or anything on YouTube, what every comment's gonna be, it's gonna be like Sentai MILF this. Ho 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 ho.
Oh, I've already seen those comments.
Oh damn it. Everybody grow up. If someone already said it, just go like that comment. Don't keep adding on to it. Oh man.
Tokusatsu fan club knows what the fans want.
Actually, yeah. This might actually be a pretty good. They're onto us. They know it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Everybody at home, head over to the Tokusatsu Network if you want to see or read up on any more of these news articles. We also have Patreon down there that has specific and unique things that you can unlock with your donations, including on YouTube. You can watch videos a whole 24 hours before they go live, which everybody on the team always goes a little bit crazy over every time we get a new one up, that everybody's going to go watch it. So you can join us and watch that a whole day early. Otherwise, thanks for hanging out. Malinus, thanks for being on the show again.
Always.
George, thanks for coming on the first time. Hope it wasn't too rough.
No, man, it was fun.
Hey, well, thanks everybody. You guys have a good rest of your day. Let's see if this. My thing's freezing. Somebody say something. Stall.
Stalling.
Yeah.
Stall. Hey, have you guys seen that new Ultraman design? It looks cool.